Okay, here we go. She's walking down the stairs now. So I call this Bianca arrives to record the podcast. Here we go. It's the theme song for you entering the...
Oh,
yeah.
Is it a different one every time I come?
It's going to have to be a different one every time you come. And maybe a different instrument. Well, I've got a lot of instruments, so...
Okay, I'm happy with that. Right?
So that's my Hohner Ocean Melodica, and I called it Bianca Descending the Stairs, ready to record the podcast.
Okay, all right, that's good.
In C major.
C major, all right.
I think. Yeah, it was.
I didn't bring my laptop, but I've got my phone, so hopefully my eyeballs can see it. Hold on. Is that the massage channel?
So if I go across to... We may as well record this. If I go across to our monetization section that says ads, there weren't any available ads because I think, unless we're talking about clothing or something, there's not many. And this says an available ad is... I'm not going to say the name of the podcast because, until we get the money, which is apparently 1.4 cents
I could get a new
per
car.
download.
Oh, per download. I thought you meant for the whole ad.
I don't know. I think it's like per download you get 1.4 cents.
That doesn't sound worth it.
It's an amazing opportunity for us. It's going to... We'll be able to... What could we get with 1.4 cents times our downloads? I can't do maths, so I reckon it's maybe a lolly.
Yeah.
Should be able to get a lolly out of this. So maybe, darling listeners, you might be hearing ads.
Maybe.
In the podcast.
Maybe. For the right price.
For the right price.
And as long as it's relevant.
Who could say no to 1.4 cents per download?
What if it was something that you're not into, like... What are you not into? Okay. Spiritual healing.
Spiritual healing or vaccines cause autism podcast.
Yes, and it was like offering $10 a download.
Well, you don't have to. You can decline the ads.
But would you sell your soul?
For 1.4 cents, I think I would, yeah.
1.2... Oh, okay.
In my day,
yeah.
1.4 cents was a lot of money. Like, you used to be able to get like 10-cent lily packs and, you were full after that.
We're not in your day anymore. I know, we used to get chalk bud, 1 cent for a chalk bud.
Yeah, that's it, 1 cent, 2 cent lollies. The 2 cent lollies were magical. They were amazing.
They were apricot balls.
Apricot, I don't remember.
2 cent ones were apricot balls.
Were they was that the apricot with the coconut on the outside?
Yes, but I think that they probably came around after you were at school, because it kind of tried to be more healthy, but they're not actually healthy. They're just sugary.
They look like they were chopped off an orangutan.
Do you remember the licorice squares? The hard licorice squares? Bacon rings? Remember bacon rings?
Bacon? Oh yeah. They're terrible.
Beautiful, amazing.
I like the licorice ones with the different colours in the square, the cube.
Oh no, they're terrible. All sorts. Licorice all sorts.
No.
Yeah, that's what you mean with the different squares.
Oh, is it? Okay. Well, then yes.
I don't like them. I like bacon rings.
No, they're the worst. They're the most unhealthy of any of them.
Well, they're not around anymore. And I think twisties, fluorescent yellow twisties, are the worst.
Okay.
Well, for all our UK and American listeners, they may not even know what these...
I think they have twisties, don't they?
Oh, yeah, they do have twisties because I think they got banned or something got banned.
I'm going to see... I'm going to put on here?
No.
And I have to remind myself, when you're editing, Dan, put on a song that my mum did, which was an advert for twisties.
Did she? You should do that. That's okay.
Yeah, twisties, munchy crunchy.
Oh.
Twisties give your life a sparkle. Twisties brighten up your day. Twisties get you off the mark. You'll hear everybody saying, Munchy crunch, munchy crunchy, munchy crunchy, munchy crunchy, Twisties put a sparkle in your day. Put a sparkle in your day.
Maybe we should
ads.
put my mum's ads, because I got a few of them.
Yeah.
We'll just put my mum's ads onto the podcast.
Yeah, do that.
We're not going to get any money for it, but
That's okay.
our souls will be cleansed.
Yes. No, that sounds like a nice little... It sounds like it's from a while ago. I just liked ads from the past. Do you remember the Smarties ad when it was a race? And
I
do you
do.
remember the one? Do you remember the Frodo Frog one where... And he'd say, the Frodo Frogs are on me! And he'd pull it on the train. And he'd pull
I do, yes.
And then all the chocolates would go everywhere. I used to just dream about these. I used to want to be in with all the Frodo Frogs.
I don't think you can beat, though, the Happy Little Vegemite ad
Yeah.
and the Aeroplane Jelly ads. They were the
Both Australian.
best. The best. I know, but you can YouTube them. They're
Like my
everywhere.
dad picks the fruit.
Yeah, that's right. Oh my God. Oh, that's right. We used to have the school version of that.
People used to walk around the school singing it.
My dad picks
the-
his bum.
Yeah,
that-
Pixies.
that goes to
Coddies to make the cordial.
make. No, it goes to what's a chocolate brand, because that's what it was.
Cadbury.
Goes to Cadbury's to make the chocolate that I like best. That, oh my God, I haven't thought of that since I was a kid. And how in the hell can I remember that?
You're welcome, because I triggered you. Triggered? No, I assisted.
Yeah, I'm triggered. I am triggered right now. Yes.
All right. Well,
And
anyway,
so is everyone else.
we should say hi.
Oh, okay. Go for it.
Sup.
Sup. That sounded like your mobile, or was it mine?
Mobile.
I'm so embarrassed last time I was having a go at you for putting your mobile on, and I was literally holding it in my hand and blaming you for that.
Oh, that's right. Yes. You should feel bad about that. Now, I've said hello, so now I'd like to say, gee, what have you been up to, Dan?
Well, this is the funny thing. After what we just said, the fact that I remembered this old ad is kind of funny because...
No, because I reminded you.
I know, but you've asked me, you've reminded me to remember what I've been up to, and I don't know. And I think that's been always a difficult question to ask me for anyone. Like if I go, when I was going to the office on Mondays regularly, people would say, how was your weekend? And I'd take so much time trying to remember anything that I did that by the time I sort of remembered anything, they didn't care anymore.
Well, okay. Well, I just check my diary. I just check my calendar and see what I was up to.
Oh.
But I had the same. Like I was like, oh. And because I actually take it as a serious question. I take it they actually do want to know.
Well,
I did.
I noticed that. I figure I need to move on because yours is such a long response
It is a lot.
that
I
I'm going
do
to
a
give
lot.
you my week to then let you talk about your week. You can have
But
my
as long
week.
as yours is as interesting as mine.
No, it's not.
Okay. Well, no, we don't want to listen to that.
No.
Okay. So I'll just go into my interesting things.
Yes.
Okay. So over the weekend, we visited a new friend of my youngest child and their family. We went to their house, which was really nice. I think I mentioned that I'd gone to the...
Is this one of the sushi people?
This is the Yellow Ladybugs, but I did get his phone number within 5 minutes. This is at the museum. He's like, hey,
Yes.
can I get your number? Yes. It was that guy. So went there.
Oh, was. Okay.
Met the lovely wife and obviously husband and the kids. But they're... yeah, we really kind of hit it off. But their house I was just so impressed. It was all set up for, not just for the kids, but I guess also for the parents. They had this like $8,000 or $9,000 massage chair, which did rocking and for adults.
Oh.
Rocking. Like at nighttime, if you can't sleep, you just go there and it massages you and rocks you at the same time. Next time I go over there, I'm having a turn.
Did you have to do that now? We literally had this conversation before I started recording, that my Bura massage chair, which I feel so good about, and now it looks like a turd.
Yeah, that's nothing. You have no idea what this is a $9,000 massage chair. No, but I still would wanted to use your one here, but you said, no, that wouldn't work. But anyway.
You can have, here at our house, we've just got it in parts. So we've got a deconstructed $8,000 massage machine. We've got one for the feet. We've got one they put over your face for your eyes. We've got one for your shoulders and this overall back one as well. So we've got 4 different massage options available.
I think I have to get something like you have here. But I was just jealous because I think you put it on the
Yes.
Instagram page. I think you put it on one of our socials
did.
with you in it. And I just thought, oh, that's exactly what I need right now. I've got the feet one, but I need the back one.
Oh,
too.
it's fantastic.
Okay. Also, one of my kids also did their first Holy Communion, which was something lovely to celebrate. So they go to a Catholic primary school, of course, and so I think a lot of the kids were doing it, so we just went along and did it as well.
At the school? It was a school run?
There's a church next to the school.
Yeah.
So I have like a sneaking suspicion that my child took part for the gifts that they received, and not actually for anything to do
Is
with
that the
religion.
gift of salvation or something
No,
else?
they got a lot of sensory toys from local sensory shop. So I think that was like $80 worth. My mother's like, yeah, gave her $80 worth of toys from there, and then I got her a dinosaur from the museum.
Was it the one in the room in your office?
Yes, that's the one.
We all know. See, we're all very privy to this.
Yes. But it was quite funny because I guess she's obviously neurodivergent. Just the whole thing, like her interactions with the priest and the mass in general was hilarious. So like while she was up the front, she feels like she's on show. I guess she masks like me, but she the whole time was just, she would stand there and just look up to heaven the entire time. And to the point where the priest had to come over and interrupt her and just say, you need to look at the camera, we're taking a photo now. But the whole time she just smiled and was just looking up towards Jesus.
Right, and so he was getting in the way. He was muscling in on Jesus.
That's right. But she just was playing that role and then just walking along, had to like carry this gold plate thing, and everyone else is carrying them like at their tummy level, and she's carrying it above her head as she was walking down the church. Very funny. I haven't mentioned this, but I don't think I've mentioned it on here, but my son has a job now, which is really exciting at like a fast foodie sort of place. I was initially like a little bit nervous as I didn't know how that would go, but he's been there about 3 weeks and they keep giving him shifts and like more shifts. So I think it's going well. I guess they don't have high expectations of a 15-year-old, do they? Not that I'm saying he's bad, but like I was like, well, he's not at,
They're good at shaping them up though.
That's right, and I think it's just really great, and it just gives him identity, like an identity part of his identity.
As a grease monkey, not grease monkey. Grease monkeys are cars, aren't they? What do you call a back of house fast food person? A grease?
A dishwasher, but he's not back of house. He's front of house.
Front of house.
He is taking the orders.
Wow.
Yes, but I guess. As an autistic moment I caught him the other night because they changed his shift like 24 hours before he was supposed to work. They then changed it to the following night. And I was in the middle of writing like a disgruntled message to the boss saying that he would not be changing his shift with only 1 day's notice. Luckily got in there. I was like, no, you cannot do this. You just go with it. And there's no reason why he couldn't have worked. He just didn't like the change.
Oh, right.
But it's all good learning.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good challenges. And then I have another thing that I did. On Sunday, I had a wedding expo, and I was situated next to one of my friends, Amber. And would you believe, I know you do, I think, because have you seen the photo? Or I have to send it to you. We were wearing pretty much the exact same outfit.
Wow, what? I know. And he paints his toenails. I'm so grossed out.
Yes.
Like a sage.
Was it the
long
same?
dress.
Or was it
not exactly the same?
Right.
But I'm going to post it to our socials. It is like 90% the same. Long black boots and a watch on our left hands, and our hair was in the same style. So I'm going to post that because it was just funny. People just thought we were a team.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Couldn't you have moved then?
I know, because it was fun. It was actually like a good conversation point with new people that would come over.
Oh.
So it was a great talking point.
So would you say, I'm not affiliated with her?
Yeah.
I'm the taller version, so please come and chat to me.
Like this. Yeah, we've just turned up like this. But while we're talking about being a celebrant, if anyone is wanting to get married within Australia, I can marry you, and I love neurodivergent weddings.
This is ridiculous, shameless plugging.
Well, it's a free plug as well. It doesn't cost me anything. Well, you're going to plug
not even
your money.
1.4 cents. Actually, no. You want? I want 1.4 cents for that.
Fair enough. And then I think I just have one more thing to say. I also took part in an intersectional bystander training a couple of nights ago. Have you heard of that?
Well, yeah, I was supposed to attend it, and then I was given jobs to do instead.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's all about calling out racist, homophobic, transphobic, sexist sort of behaviour. And I learned that it doesn't have to be confrontational, because I would always be nervous about having to say, hey, I don't like what you said right there. You don't need to do it that way, which, I mean, people probably know that already, but for me, I didn't. I just thought it had to be confrontational, because I'm not good with confrontation. But we had to think of it from both sides. Like, how would I tell someone that they're being inappropriate, but also how would I like to be told that I've done or said something inappropriate? So for me, I would probably like a message later. I do not want to be called out in the moment in front of other people.
Right.
And that's the way I also would offer it to other people. I would just say it afterwards.
What if you're on a train and someone's just... There's a lot of videos of that kind of stuff on TikTok.
Oh.
How would you handle that?
Well, I would be the follower. If other people are saying, hey, don't do that, I'll be like, yeah. But I wouldn't be the first one in case... But Paul...
Do you know what I'd be?
What?
And I'm lucky I haven't been in that situation yet. I'd be the person, like in a train, who waits for the train stop, and then I would literally drag them out of the train.
Oh, do
and
you
then
reckon you would?
wait for the doors to close and leave
Do you
them there.
reckon you would?
I
What
would.
about if they're a lot taller than you and get muscles?
I'd still probably try.
Actually, I'll just press the emergency button. But also knowing a little bit about the police force, because I know some people who are in the police force, I was told that, there are situations, there are often, like if someone is being dragged off the train, like in a I'm abducting you sort of way, nobody does anything.
No.
Gosh, we're getting really into all the details. Anyway, I'm talking about the intersectional bystander
Well, it
training.
sounds really interesting. I'm sort of, I really wish I'd gone.
Yeah, it was actually really good. And then we went into breakout rooms, which made you actually have to concentrate because you had to talk about the things that you just talked about.
Ew.
That was
now,
good.
Now I'm not.
But he was really good because what he did the first one, it was quite a casual introduce yourself but talk a little bit about something. So therefore you knew that was going to come the next time. So the first times he just sort of let you know this is what's going to happen. So then you focused for the important stuff later. Smart way of doing it.
Okay.
Now I have finished saying what I've done.
Well, that reminds me of a joke, one of the only jokes. I remember a joke for like a few days and then it disappears. And this joke is from an autistic comedian. If I could find it, I'll put it on the notes, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I probably won't bother. But it was an interesting one about, similar to that, where you have like your office sort of days where you all get together and you're learning something about about the team and something about particular aspects. What do they call those sort of days?
Team building.
It's like a team building exercise sort of stuff. And one of them is the ones where they say, okay, I want you to break into groups and I want you to think of three things. Three things about you. Two have to be lies and one has to be true. And she says she hates those things. They're just so uncomfortable, and I hate them too.
Oh no, so I really like them because then it enables me to brag about the good thing that I've done.
Well, her idea for it, which I really want to do, is her response is she points at one person and says, "I hate you," and then she points at another person and says, "I hate you," and then the third person says, "I hate you," and then she says, and then I walk out, and let them figure it out for themselves.
Oh.
That's fantastic.
It's really good if you didn't care about your job.
But what makes me laugh is the idea of what they then have to, the discussion that they would have. How would they be feeling by...
See, I
who's
feel
saying
like,
that?
yes, looking into it, I think it's a little bit negative. I think you should say, I like you, I like you, I like you.
Yeah, but then where's the discomfort there?
Because two of them you're lying about.
Oh, but I love the discomfort of it. That's what makes me laugh.
No, but I think it's a bit too confrontational. But if you say, I like you, like you, like you, you're actually lying about two of them. That's even funnier.
Okay.
Wait, you're understanding what I mean
just getting
now?
it there.
Yeah,
Of course, yes.
And that
You
way
could do
it's
that
less
with all
negative.
kinds. You're pretty.
Passive-aggressive.
You're pretty and you're pretty.
Bad. He's so awful, but funny.
You don't smell, and you don't smell.
Oh, that's funny. Now, we have a main topic to talk about today.
Oh, we've got in record time too.
It's because I've started talking fast again, so I'm about to slow down again so that people can understand.
I forgot to have my medication today, so theoretically my voice should be slower.
No, but maybe that's why it took you longer to get the joke about the like.
Probably. Yeah, maybe that's it.
Okay, so our topic is about Em Rossiano. Actually, I didn't tell you that she actually was talking about this on her stories, and that's why I mentioned this as a topic. But she was talking about it and like the fallout.
Get on with it.
and what people say afterwards, I'm not good at remembering exactly what she was talking about, but this is the theme, is like, have you changed since diagnosis? Often people are like, oh, you've changed so much and you're different now. But have you changed? Yeah. Okay, so shall I talk first?
Yeah, please do.
Because
Please
I'm the
do.
undiagnosed. You are officially diagnosed.
Well, that's right. Yeah, I'm an official release and you're a bootleg.
That's it. I'm just jumping on your tail wings. Something? Is that a thing? Tail
shaking
wings?
tail. No.
No. I'm on your tail.
Bandwagon.
On coat.
Coattails.
Yep. Okay. So if I think about if I've changed since realising that I have autism and probably ADHD, I'd say yes, but I'm more honest with people now. And I guess you pick your people, but when we were talking about doing a podcast together, I did struggle with the thought that I was putting it out there in the world that I've got autism and ADHD, and it was scary. And I wondered how it would affect my celebrant business if I was outwardly autistic. But then I thought, in reality, the only people that would know, like the people who are getting married who would know that I was autistic, are the people who follow our podcast and who choose me as their celebrant.
Maybe. Podcasts are forever, though.
Yeah, but I don't care anymore. I don't care. Like, I think it's when you're younger you care more about, or maybe that's just me, but anyone getting married, though, I am your celebrant in Australia. Anyway, back onto the topic. So I don't think I've really changed, really, but my husband would not think I've changed. Your wife has probably said that you've changed a lot, but we're still talking about me, so you can talk about that later. I still do all the things I did before, but there might just be more understanding on my part as to why I do certain things and act in particular ways. So
yes.
Do you notice anything different about me? Because it's probably, I don't know how many years, but I don't reckon you would, because I think that you didn't really notice. I feel like you were like all the people that would be around would be like blah, 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 blah.
Oh, that's
blah,
right.
blah.
Yeah.
And I wasn't anything special.
I'm like a barnacle on a conversational and friendship.
When did I become special?
When did you become special?
Yeah, to you.
There's a lot of assumptions that are being created here to begin with that I can't work with.
But that I'm special in the first place?
Let's back up past all that stuff.
Before?
Well, before you said the special bit.
Oh.
Because maybe you're not. Maybe what I'm about to say is about to say, well, maybe you're less special than you were. Who knows?
Okay, but no, I know that's not true, but go.
I think for anyone, as well as you, if you're a person open to new information coming in and you care about growing as a person, and I think the way I picture it in my head is it's a little bit like how our bodies are. The changes on the outside after a couple of years are slow to see. Like, you don't see a lot of change or any perceivable difference after a couple of years. But inside, we've got cells that are constantly changing. So like 333 billion cells, I think, are replaced daily. So I think a lot of what happens beyond what we're consciously aware of is there's a lot more happening than we realise. So I do think you've changed over the years in deeper ways that may not always be so easy to identify and sort of give you examples, because I think it's a more holistic, and I mean holistic, not like hippy dippy, but holistic is the other way of, like, it's explaining something by referencing the whole. Does that make sense?
I lost a bit of interest.
Oh, for God's sakes! Because
I don't have that sort of attention span.
Well, okay. Well, here you go. You're gonna get some interest now. Okay. I think you act shy a lot less.
Yes.
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 I think you ask less weird questions, or you ask good questions less weirdly.
Yes.
I think is.
I used to be unusual and quite quirky with my questions, but I'm so much more relaxed in who I am, and what my identity is now. That's very interesting.
There you go.
Did you just think about that?
Let's go with that. And you keep expanding your understanding of autism and ADHD, which informs you in a personal way too, as you said the same thing. I would also hazard that you are more objectively confident rather than masking confidence.
Yeah. But the more you mask, it just comes natural after a while, I think.
Yeah, but maybe there's more to it than that.
What? Tell me, Oracle.
I think with understanding and knowledge, along with the practice, leads you to becoming a more confident person. But I still think the confidence can be very a veneer unless you have something to back it up. So yes, you can pretend to be confident, but if you have something solid behind it, then you are actually objectively more confident.
Yes. Like, when did you think about this?
Why is
had
that
you taken your
important?
medication before you thought about that? Or you're not making it up right now, are you?
I wrote it when I was on the medication. I wrote it. Yes.
Yes.
It's a lot more thoughtful, isn't it?
Yes. Then I'm used to a few. I'm fascinated.
Yeah, it's working a treat.
But then how do you come up with that when you were never taking notice before anyway?
Well, maybe I'm now afforded the brain space to have those considerations.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe it makes you care a little bit more than you normally would. I don't know.
Then you're an improved Dan.
There you go. Don't expect it to happen a lot.
And what do you have to say about it then?
For me, you mean?
Yeah, about you, yeah.
Well, I think anyone who's asked this question, well, for me, I'm less sure. I'm sure I am, but I think at the root of things, I've always been someone who likes to improve themselves. I don't necessarily like making changes, but I will, whether it's comfortable or not to do. And that's been since I was a teenager. I think the diagnosis for me just provided some concrete information to work with.
Didn't you just talk about your phone not going off?
What is that noise? Oh, it's one of our listeners, our Party Pooper listeners. Hang on a second.
Oh.
I'm going to answer it and see.
Let's see.
Absolutely. So there's a package at your door. I'm allowed to open it and see what it is, and then if I don't want it, I'll give it to you. Done. Aren't you exciting? You're on the podcast. Don't worry. See ya. Well, that was interesting.
Well,
Okay. I literally was going to respond when I told you to turn your phone off to say, well, there's no point in me, there's no need for me to turn my phone off because no one ever calls.
oh, right.
And then my neighbour calls me.
You're excused from the rules. Okay.
Oh my God. I've got to remember where the hell I was
Now
now.
I've lost where we were.
Well, I'm open to change. So that's right. I've got more sort of concrete, objective information to work with. I know that but then I've always been open with this sort of stuff. So I talk to people at work, even someone who's new. We went out for a coffee and I started talking about autism and ADHD and my journey through it. I think that the thing that I do know is that I'm less sort of masky around people.
Okay, so what about people that might say to you that you're using it as an excuse?
An excuse for what?
Oh, for, let's just say, working from home, as an example.
Oh, of course. And there would be people who do think that.
I'm sure there would be.
Yeah, I'm sure there would be. That's why I talk about it. That's why I openly talk about it. That's why I talk about medication I'm going on and why I'm on it. And so I preempt those people thinking that way, and I do everything I can to make sure that they're going to have to work harder.
So if you're having like a disagreement with your wife, do you ever say like, that's my ADHD, or are you not that aware of it?
No, that's hers. She says that to me all the time.
Oh, okay.
And it's really annoying because I want her to be diagnosed with something, so I can then say that's your
You can just say
multi-personality
you're getting your period.
disorder. Yeah, that's right. Yes, it's the red flag.
Well, it's the same annoyance, I guess, when people get told that. Oh,
Yes.
oh, she's obviously getting a period. Same thing with, oh, well, it's your ADHD. I think it's the same. I
It's
don't know.
ridiculous. It's like saying, I don't know. Oh my God, it's a bright day. Well, so that's just your bloody blue eyes.
It doesn't help. It doesn't
It doesn't help.
does it?
No, there's nothing you can do about it within reason.
Well, Yeah, so I guess it could be reframed.
Well, I guess there's things I know there's things I do, which is like
Do.
What?
Yes.
No, stop it.
Okay, keep going.
I act like a bit of a social butterfly at work, but I'm doing that a lot less now because there's a cost to that.
Yeah.
And I understand that now. So I'm trying to be careful and only mask when it's going to be beneficial.
Yes.
It means I'm not going to be as exhausted when I do want to use that mask.
Right.
You know what I mean? So when I do go to work, I can be all those things and get something positive out of it, and people around me get something positive out of it without getting exhausted.
Yeah, that's a very good point. So can you just laugh like on command?
Oh, of course I can.
Go. Like if let's pretend I just said, the leaf is green.
That's great. That's what I do. See, I'm an expert at it.
You can just try it with me.
The leaf is more emerald.
Oh, that's funny.
That's not.
That's what I do.
That's,
I go, oh, that's
no
funny.
effort. You've put no effort
You know
into
what?
that.
There was no effort in the silly joke that they said. If it's not funny, I'll just say, oh, that was funny.
But no, I put in a lot. I get to the point where I actually I get in pain. I get rib pain from doing too much of that
Yeah,
fake
and that's
laughing.
why you're so exhausted.
Yes, it hurts. I stop breathing.
But they didn't say something funny, so don't give them that much. You don't give them too much.
Can I be a little controversial?
Do it.
Because I don't think that the people involved are ever going to listen to it.
Yes. We might need to take this out.
No. Okay, so there was some family members who came over here for a lunch.
Yes.
And it's just a good example of how I have changed in those situations. During that lunch, discussions were had, and one of the people who was attending repeats themselves a lot. A lot. I counted the same point had been repeated within the space of about 40 minutes, something like 20 times. The same information 20 times over.
Okay.
And no one else comments about it. No one else says, you've said that. No one.
That's interesting.
And it drives me insane. I got it the first time. I didn't need that other 19
And did you say
times.
anything? Is that what the story is? Or
No.
not?
I walked off and I went and laid on the bed.
See, we do that in my family. We call it out. As soon as someone has said it twice, we say, henchen. Because you don't want to know what henchen means?
Henchen.
It means chicken.
What?
In German. So but you still don't understand. The thing is, when my father and my mother and my brother went to Germany. Oh, no, it wasn't. It was when my dad and my brother were in Germany with my dad's relatives. My brother only doesn't eat turkey or anything. He only eats chicken or beef. And so they were eating something. My brother said, "What is this?" And so my dad asked in German what it was, and they said it was turkey. My dad knew he didn't eat it, so my dad's like, henchen, right? And then, so then they all went, oh, what? Oh, and my brother could see they all looked like confused, but then they all just went along. My dad said something else in German, and they all went, oh yeah, henchen. And that was really funny because when he came back from Germany, my dad told us that story, right? And then my dad told us that story again, and I have heard this story. Maybe 50 or 60 times, if not more. So now we just say, if someone repeats themselves, we just say henchen.
That's a really good idea.
Well, yeah.
We've got friends who will know this as well. They've been within that sphere and heard examples of the repetition. And I suffer through it on a daily basis because Jen loves to repeat things.
She does a bit. Yeah, okay. So then if the person says something, let's just say they're telling you, I went outside and I put my umbrella up and it broke. When they say, I went outside with my umbrella, why don't you jump in and say, did it break? Because that's funny.
Yeah, I do. I say, you've said this before. With Jen, I'll say it.
That's confrontation. You just say, but did it break? Just say that. And that's funny. And when everyone else thinks that's funny too.
That's a good idea. I could twist it around. That's another way of confronting that.
Did it break? Oh, how did I know that?
So I think I don't like to be too judgy because I know that's how she remembers stuff.
Oh, so I wasn't talking about Jen. I was talking about this relative.
Yeah, I know, but
it's the same thing.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
that's how she remembers things. But she's very good at remembering things. She remembers things word for word.
Exactly, and I
just
think
remember
it's because
feelings.
of the repetition.
I remember the feelings. I don't remember what the person said that was mean. I just remember how they made me feel. I think you're the same.
Yeah. Yes. What was the other one? Rent money is dead money. I remember that was from,
An ad.
25 years ago.
Yeah, well, money is dead money. Which is not necessarily the case.
No.
Anyway, so have you finished your...
That's me. I think I've explained myself very well there.
Yeah, okay. I think so.
It's a learning process. I'm still going through it.
Yeah. Now, did you want to... I thought maybe we might just go over some comments that we've had from our party poopers lately.
I know. This is on the private page again, remember, or private group.
Yeah, so we don't say people's names.
No, I asked, and they said that's fine.
Oh, as long as you asked.
Yes. The two of them are happy with their first name, and one of them is provided a fuller name, which is...
Why do we want to say their full name?
Because they said so.
Oh.
Where is it? Sonia the Awesomeness Whedons.
Okay, that's why.
I hadn't asked what that means yet. So, Sonia, the Awesomeness Whedons, if you could please respond to us and tell us why we're saying this, that would be fantastic. But
Okay.
anyway.
So what did they say? Tell me about all the things they said.
Well, this was triggered from your post asking about this podcast and have they got any examples or anything to
to be
offer.
talking about
Yes.
when you have autism, when you've been diagnosed or not diagnosed. Yeah, if you've changed. Mm-hmm.
And the wonderful Tony, who's been commenting a lot, which has been fantastic. He's an interesting chap, and we've got a lot in common as well. Oh, let me do this. He's also got lots of instruments too.
Oh, you guys could be friends.
That's right. I did say that to him.
Oh,
Anyway.
that's lovely.
So I broke his post down into some sort of points that hopefully will prevent you from falling asleep and
good.
losing interest. Mm-hmm. First point was that there was an immediate... So this is post-diagnosis, yeah?
Yeah.
The immediate relief of getting an explanation. That's the first step. Mm-hmm. Then the next is being less able to cope with daily stress for him.
Wow,
Like, what does this mean for me? What do I do with this info? I had the same thing. Well, okay, I've been told this. Now what the hell do I do with it? Because they don't give you much. Like, as to this is what you do now. They just don't. They hand you some pamphlets and say, go for it.
They do. And that's why we have this podcast.
Exactly. Now, he said before the diagnosis, anxiety was just part of who he was, same as me. I didn't think it was anxiety. I didn't realise it was. So now what he's doing is he's avoiding triggers, which my thought of that is it's actually better to eventually find methods of dealing with the triggers than just removing yourself from people.
I guess eventually, yes, but for now, that's what he needs.
Of course, that's right. He mentions doubts about the assessment, of course, which, you start to think it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Am I just talking myself into it? Am I acting autistic? And I did respond to him on there to saying, well, this is what happens after a lifetime of masking. You witness your behaviours once you realise you do mask. It's just, again, part of this process. You've been given the diagnosis for a reason, and at some point you need to go, okay, this is what it is, and I need to work with it.
Okay, that's really interesting.
So Laura responded, another party pooper. Do you want to come up with a nickname for Laura?
You know what? Party pooper, like poo,
Yeah.
and then, or you could call it like pee-pee, which is wee. Isn't that good?
A pee-pee pooper?
A pee-pee pooper. Well, I need to know
Laura
what she said
Laura
first.
the Explorer.
Okay.
Okay, so Laura the Explorer agreed that she also feels more autistic since doing lots and lots of research, and she's worried that, again, that subconsciously she's acting autistic on purpose. It's amazing how it messes with your mind, this stuff. It really is.
Yeah.
And how we all sort of have we go through the same steps.
Yes.
She also makes the point that as a woman, she doesn't fit into the culture stereotype of what autism is. So, like, how in the world women are able to self-diagnose at all, it's a marvel to me. I don't know how you can do it.
Right. I guess so. What about Big Tony? What did he wonder?
The big T.
Yeah.
But Tony, How about Tony Baloney? Doesn't sound good. That's not very nice.
It's not slanderous though.
No?
Yeah, it's fine. Silly.
Tony the Big Baloney. I think he'd love that. Well, yeah, Tony B wonders why he can do things like he gets sarcasm, he can read body language, he understands symbolism. So, like, imagine he's looking at a list of traits and it's a big long list and he's ticking them as he goes, you know, and he's like...
Yes, but I can explain to him why he can
Why?
do that is because he's had to overcompensate because early on he didn't understand it. So he's really focused in on behaviour so that he could understand it from a young age, which is why he's so good at it now.
That's what I said.
Did you?
Yes.
Twins.
He was like, what was he saying? Because it's seen as a spectrum, that's what puts doubts in people's mind. But the spectrum is not a spectrum that goes down to neurotypicality. You know, it's actually a spectrum within the autism spectrum or within autism.
Yeah.
So it's always a good response to people who say, "Oh, we're all a little bit on." No, you're not. No. It's something you can look at with an image scanner. You can see there is a difference in our brains.
Yes.
Within that, they've decided to call it a spectrum. It could be it's often used as a circle, all kinds of things.
So I wonder whether we eventually get to a point where to diagnose autism they do a brain scan.
Yeah, I think that's a genetic. Yeah, blood tests, scans. I think why not DNA?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the DNA is a tricky thing with any of these sorts of things. Is you can have all these similar markers, but not everyone has the same markers for certain things. So I think it makes it a little difficult. But we're getting smarter at this stuff, and yes, I definitely think we will. And then there's going to be the argument of, do we get rid of it before the kid's born? Oh. That's the thing. That's what's going to be really interesting.
Oh. That's really interesting.
Mm-hmm. So I did the same thing. Checklists, tick, 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 tick. And we've talked about this before I got my diagnosis. I was like, I don't tick enough boxes. It's not me. It's not the way. You can't do it that way because there's a lot more going on within this than just ticking some boxes. There's family histories. There's all kinds of stuff that goes around this that gives you the diagnosis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go on. You're going to leave me on to the next?
Well,
did anyone else respond, Dan?
Did
Well,
anyone
actually,
else?
yes.
What about Sonia the Awesomeness?
Whedon's.
Did she respond? Because she's also quite active.
She is, and
on
I
socials.
love her comments.
I love everyone's comments.
They are, but she's just the way she responded to Tony B was quite lovely. She said, "You're just too hard on yourself. If your son was anxious with social settings and not being able to look you in the eye, what would you do? Would you cuddle him and reassure him, show some empathy, or even help him? You're someone's son too, so be kind to yourself." I love that.
I do too.
That's really kind of her to say. Finally, she also said that something we all need to remind ourselves on is surrounding yourself with humans that understand you.
That's what I do.
What about animals? That's what my response to Sonia the Awesomeness Wheatons is. What about animals? They provide.
But do you think your animals understand you, Dan?
Of course they do.
They understand you.
They do. Dogs particularly do know how you're feeling.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Cats couldn't give a shit.
No. But my dogs will go up to my daughter this morning and they're just smelling around. They come up every morning, they smell her hair, they smell her face, then they smell her breath.
Yes.
But they're just I think they're just checking if she's okay, aren't they? Like, how's your gut? How are your gut issues going at the moment?
I think it's a little bit another version of us sniffing with dogs because
they do that too.
My dog does that. Not my ass. He, although he goes down there for warmth, but he comes up and sniffs my beard to see what I ate. That's my take. But he also has this horrible habit of sniffing
out
and spits all over my face.
Some people wouldn't like that. Yuck. I mean, some people wouldn't like to be hearing this on here.
What, that noise or just being...
Yes. Some people might go, ooh.
That was the point. I want them to experience my pain.
Oh, lovely. Well, that was really good. I think that's an easy move into our Neurodivergent Digest.
Oh, play the song.
Neurodivergent Digest.
Okay.
Well, Sia has announced that she is autistic. This is very interesting to me.
Go on. Why?
Well, do you want to give the background of? Do you remember what the background was to that?
Oh, I don't think everyone's groaning
Oh, yeah,
right now.
just
So we all know. If you don't know, believe me, there's YouTube's you can go to and find out about the movie music that she did, and
But
some of
basically-
her responses.
Well, and she sort of said, it was too hard to use an autistic actor. So, and then a lot of people didn't like that, including Chloe Hayden, who was quite vocal about that. And I think Sia has blocked
Yes.
Chloe Hayden.
Yeah, and some other autistic actors also said, well, I wasn't contacted, and she responded by saying, well, maybe you're not very good.
Oh, I didn't know that. But then now for her to come out, right, but then I thought, well, the way she was acting was quite autistic then, wasn't it? Like, to be saying that, well, maybe you weren't good enough. Those are things that some autistic people might say to someone. And for her she was just being honest, wasn't she? In her opinion, the autistic person was too difficult. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here. Too difficult, so why would I use them?
Well, maybe she's too difficult then. Like, was that how she would like to be treated? Next time she wants to, I don't know.
But maybe because she probably knew already she was autistic secretly, and she just thought, I need this to be perfect, and this autistic person is not doing this how I want it to be portrayed. Maybe that's what she was thinking.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. And I think the responses to her, I don't like, again, what Sonia, the awesome Miss Whedon, said is be kind to yourself, but also be kind to others. Just back off a little and the hate.
Especially publicly, when you are a public figure.
Yeah, all round.
Like you and I, we're celebrities now. We don't bag people out, do we? We're trying to be kind.
Well, not at the moment, but once we start getting into a pay per listen, we'll provide additional content where we bag out anyone.
Pay per listen. Anyway, we have big news from our most famous party pooper.
But hang on.
Is that your bit?
No, because I got a really funny bit.
Oh. Okay, what do I need to say before that?
No, nothing. I'll just say that regarding the announcement of Sia.
Okay.
Oh, should I do it in a news voice?
Yeah. Hold on.
Sia has announced she's autistic. The response has been similar from the autistic community as when Elon Musk announced his autism, which is mostly other autistic people wishing that at least one vaccine caused neurotypicalness.
I'm trying to work that out. Is it funny?
Of course it's funny.
Oh.
Autistic people are now wishing that vaccines caused non-autism so we could get both of them onto the other side.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. That's funny. That was funny that I just said that because that was my fake laugh.
It was a fake laugh. Yeah, everyone knows that it was a fake laugh. It was funny.
That's okay.
Trust me.
Okay, now I'm going to go... Where was I? Big news for our most famous party pooper, Jessica Horner. She's a finalist for the Walkley Award.
A Walkley!
So you will know her from, it was either 5, 6 or 7, episode 5, 6 or 7, where she was talking about eating disorders and disordered eating. You were in contact, she was in contact with you from early on, and so it was really great. It's nice that we have a party pooper, and we're very excited that she is up for a Walkley. So there's out of her and 2 other people.
That's right. Now, a Walkley, for people who are not Australian, it's like the most prestigious award you can get in journalism over here. It's like the Oscars minus the porn star dresses and Botox. So it's a big deal.
Yeah, like the Oscars, exactly like that, yes.
So specifically, she's up for the Media Diversity Award for her piece, which we just talked about on the podcast, A Rich New Lens on the ABC.
Can you put the link in the show notes? Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thank you.
So a big congratulations to Jessica. It was so exciting to hear that. It's a very big deal.
It's in about 2 weeks. So it is very, very exciting.
It is. Some would argue she's probably possibly too young to be up for a Walkley.
Who has argued that?
Maybe there's some older journalists who missed out on that, that chance.
Well, I know
because
who
of
they
her
are.
talents.
The people she's up against.
Maybe she needs to back off on the talent and post a couple of really crap articles just to help balance things out a bit.
Yeah, that's true. Well, there's 3 up, obviously herself, and there's one
we
of the
don't care about the other.
hosts.
Who gives a
one of the hosts of the Drum.
Who cares?
And also there's a piece from
Losers.
the 7:30 report. And her. Isn't that amazing? So yes, that's amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It really is.
I'm excited. So she has sent me a photo of what she's wearing. and we've been having a bit of a chat.
What?
What?
Did I just get... What was that on my head?
What?
Did you just hit me?
No?
I felt a bang on my...
Are you joking?
No.
No.
I thought you were trying to get my attention and...
So anyway, what did I say? Yeah, so she sent me a photo of her dress. It looks amazing. I think it's going to be perfect for it. I can't tell you.
Oh, the dress she's going to wear. I thought you're sending each other pictures of what you're wearing each day. I can send the same photo and say, please just repeat this every day of the week.
Exactly.
And that's what I'm wearing.
That's what you're wearing. That's good. Yeah, so looking forward to hearing that in 2 weeks. We will.
Yes.
Well, it doesn't. Don't want to say give the verdict, but either way, like she's a nominee.
Exactly.
So, and you can. That's on your resume for the rest of your life.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Yeah.
They're all winners except they're not, but we want her to
Well,
be
she
a winner.
either came first, second, or third,
That's right.
and they're all good. Mm-hmm. Out of all of Australia. Anyway, let's move on to our favourite.
It's the world's favourite.
The world's favourite.
Internationally favourite now.
Is it? Oh, internationally favourite segment of the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Is it actually called Text Fuck Ups?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Is there music?
Yeah.
Okay, go. Text Fuck Ups. Text Fuck Ups. Text Fuck Ups. Text 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 text. Okay, that's enough. Now you've got enough. Oh,
You still haven't heard it yet, have you?
no.
Oh my God, I'm going to play it to you after this because this is getting ridiculous.
Okay, all right. No, but I'm about to listen this week.
She says that
No,
every
because I
week.
wasn't well and now I'm better. So now I will. Okay.
Me.
All right, I'll go first.
La 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 la.
What's up?
Oh, I haven't come up with a character yet.
Okay. Strangers in the night,
Text her.
exchanging glances. Okay.
Dude, you're going to kill me. I was a little drunk last night and talking to your wife, and I ended up banging her. Car in the driveway when I pulled out. I think I hit your daughter's bike too. I'll come fix it later, but please say sorry to me for your wife. And your daughter. Now,
That doesn't
it needs
make
to be
sense.
explained now.
It does.
The bit in the middle where he says car in the driveway when I pulled out, I think I hit your daughter's bike too, say sorry to your wife, was not delivered. So here's what this person heard. Dude, you're going to kill me. I was a little drunk last night and talking to your wife, and I ended up banging her. And your daughter.
Because the middle bit wasn't delivered. Yeah, that was funny. I did laugh. I had a chuckle out loud.
That's a very good one.
That is.
Not delivered. The poor guy.
Yeah. Yep. That would be funny.
Oh.
Okay.
And that was
so,
Texan too. That was Texan.
Yeah. Look,
Definitely.
you sound like Matthew Mahogany. Or is that how you say Mahogany?
Matthew Mahogany. Well, maybe I should be
Mahogany.
doing some of those calming, relaxing audio books and stuff he does.
Yes. Now, I'll go first. Have you got your accent ready?
I'll let you do the green this time.
Oh, shit, okay.
More, yeah.
So, do I need an accent? Because you know I'm really good with them.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Have you got some sort of Scandinavian accent you can do?
Yeah, no, I'm really bad, but I'm going to try, and it's going to be funny because I'm
Alright.
terrible.
I'm going to do Holland. So,
Okay.
what do you do for a living?
I work with a group of professionals for a multi-billion-dollar company that specialize in the careful packaging and transport of food to local civilians.
Wow, that sounds very rewarding. Which company?
Domino's.
So you deliver pizza?
Not all heroes wear capes, Michael. What the hell was my accent?
Our accents were flawless. Flawless.
Yours are good, mine are bad. I'm going to practice.
My accent went around the globe.
But considering my father is German, you would think I could do a German accent, wouldn't you?
Was that an attempt? Was it a...
Yes. And I can't do it. But he's got a thick German accent. So this is unusual.
Now, for the last one, I want you to say it like your mother would.
Oh.
Okay? So I'll say the green and you say the other one. So try and think of how your mum would say this if you said
Okay.
this to her. Okay. So I'm going to try and sound like you then. Okay. Mum, stop. You are not funny. You never make jokes.
I made you, didn't I?
Oh,
That is how my mother would say it.
very good.
But you're quite good at knowing that my mother would say it that way.
Well, because there's been so much judgment coming my
Yes.
way
Oh, yes.
regarding me talking about my diagnosis on this podcast.
Well, I feel like I should have a segment. What did Bianca's mother say?
We should have one where we call her.
Oh, yeah.
I'd love to do that.
Yes, all right. That sounds good. We can call her now.
We can't because I need the tech set up and
Okay,
stuff.
we'll
'cause then
talk to
it'll
her
make that
next.
horrible.
We'll talk to her next episode.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have any recommendations this week?
Oh, I forgot to ask my daughter to. I can. Yes,
Yeah.
I have a recommendation. It's going to be from Eloise, and I'm going to record it after this.
Yeah.
It's about this amazing paint set she's got, which a lot of autistic people will know about. Anyone who loves art. It's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous, and she's doing a lot of Studio Ghibli style sort of work, and she's currently painting the Hobbit Hole from Hobbiton.
Okay.
And so here's Eloise talking about it now.
Hello there, it is Eloise. My father is meant to be helping me with my homework, but apparently talking about this podcast is more important than my education.
Yes.
So I have been really hyperfixated on this specific paint set for ages. I think it's called the... Wait, you can find the actual... I think it's called the Miya Gouache set. Yeah, and it's like probably the best paint that I've ever used in my life, because if you know like other paint types, there's like acrylic, which is like, you know, what you'd normally use, but I find like it gets a bit dry, and watercolor is just really watery, so it's right in the middle. And I've been non-stop watching Studio Ghibli, like people paint Studio Ghibli scenes with this paint, and I'm like, I need to get this. Was it expensive getting it? Yes, but it was so worth it. And I've been painting, because I'm like never bothered to do even anything I enjoy. I just sit in bed or annoy Dad, and I've been actually able to have the, you know, motivation to paint and like look after my paints and stuff like that, and it's been so good. So I'm painting my friend a Hobbit Hole. I nearly finished it, and I was like, oh no, I hate this. So I've completely restarted. So I'm gonna finish that with like the paints, and I know Dad can put up a photo of it when it's done. But yeah. Now my dad can help me with my education.
And just so the audience knows, a Hobbit Hole is not what you think. Don't be disgusting.
Ew! Gross!
Now, do we have any other listener feedback? Oh, after all that, I need to put the song for this one too. Hang on.
Feedback, it's the feedback, it's the feedback.
Yes, listener feedback. Do you have any? Are you still there?
Me? I'm
So silent. I had to turn around.
Yes, Sonia the Awesomeness Whedon, she does have feedback, but I'm not sure what all of them means.
Yes, the context was our wonderful producer and creative visionary, Chartreuse, had asked people on the private group what their favourite podcast episode was. And so her response was, now you can do it.
All of them. The podcast normalises autism. It gives me hope that no matter my diagnosis, I can achieve things in my life.
So if anyone wants to know, that was an exact replica of Sonia the Awesome
That's how she
Awesomeness Whedon's
speaks.
voice. Absolutely, completely flawless.
That's exactly how she speaks.
Exactly how she speaks.
What about your loving wife? She's also had a comment on there.
She did.
Do you want to speak like her?
I'll speak like her. This was about a comment. Well, that comment, I think it was.
Yeah.
Or it was?
I
Was
think
it?
so. Oh, I don't know.
It was about a lovely comment
It was.
anyway about how our podcast is helping people. Okay, so this is Jen in her voice. This comment made my heart melt. You must feel so proud of the work you and Bianca are doing. As supporting people to feel good about their autism. Now go get me a cup of tea, love.
She's going to love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't want it to make it too
Over the top.
over the top. No,
No.
I sort of turned it down a couple of notches.
Yes. Now, we've got a really special autistic moment this time. It was sent in from one of our lovely listeners.
It's really hurt my throat.
Okay, well, I'll talk. So it came in from one of the listeners in written form. And Dan, I must say, you have done a superb job in, obviously we use my voice, but in putting all this together, the story. And did you fluff it up at all, or was that did you change it at all?
Fluff it up.
Yeah, did you fluff it up at all?
That's not the sort of terminology I'll be asking for.
Or was that was that word for word, a couple, pretty much?
Oh, well, pretty much, yes. The bits that were where you were being the fluffer was when you were doing the other extra bits.
Yeah. So it's pretty much, yeah.
I can't wait to tell you later what a fluffer is, but go on. Go on.
It's a fart, isn't it? Okay.
So here it is. Autistic Moment. What now?
When I was 18, I worked as a stage technician at stadiums and arenas, which involved a lot of long anti-social hours and a lot of travelling to and from various venues. A group of us used to get picked up by the crew boss in a minibus and off we'd go. Hi everyone. Sometimes it was a long drive, so we would often stop off at motorway services for food and toilet breaks. That sort of thing.
Okay, everyone, you got 5 minutes to go and get some snacks and go to the toilet.
There was this one time when we'd stopped at the services and I went wandering in on my own to look for the toilets. I wonder where the toilets are here. Now that was a lifesaver. When I came back out to find the minibus, it wasn't there, and neither were the rest of the stage crew. What the hell? Where did they go? They'd completely disappeared, and I immediately descended into panic mode, completely catastrophizing the situation. I rang my crew boss, and he told me, am I going insane or just blind? That they hadn't even left yet. He told me exactly where he was standing. I told him to wait and walked over to the spot he told me. The description matched where I was standing, but I couldn't see them anywhere. Now what am I going to do? I walked back to the phone to confront him. Hey, where the hell did you go? Didn't you notice I was missing? Are you playing funny buggers with me? You were not there. He then asked me, did you go over the bridge? I don't think so. A bridge? It turns out it was one of those services that covers both sides of the motorway with a bridge linking them together. I had to stop and think for a moment. I wasn't sure. I couldn't remember walking over the bridge, but I went back inside and tried retracing my steps. And sure enough, I'd walked over the bridge without realising. Oh, for God's sake. Both sides of the services were absolutely identical. I got back to the other side and there they all were, sitting in the minibus and laughing their asses off. Yeah, shut up.
The part of female stage technician was played by late to the party host Bianca. She'll be in the foyer after the performance to sign your programs. You know what's going to be more embarrassing if no one else knows what that is, and all it's going to do is say more about me than it will.
So you just say, everyone, look up, Google what a fluffer is. In what context? A sexual way, I'm imagining? Is that why we're laughing and going red?
Oh, yes.
Okay, fluffer in a sexual context, let us know next week. No. And I was thinking of doing a new segment. We have lots of segments going on.
Yeah,
There's
we
going to be
do.
a new song. Have you been writing this new song?
Oh no, have we come up with a name? I
No.
responded to your suggestions,
I don't
but
remember what they were.
I think we're still working on.
Okay, so let's just
on
pretend. Yeah, this great new segment that doesn't have a name. It's called No Name Segment.
Yep.
You explain it because you've got words.
Oh really? I have to remember what it was. So what are we doing? It's basically we're going to give each other challenges to see how well we can mask interest in a topic that we normally have no interest in.
Yes. So it doesn't have to. So you're going to be like messaging like on the socials to somebody probably well known, but not too well known.
Well known, or it could be well known company, or it could be just. Yeah, there's some broadness here, just depending, because sometimes if you're just trying to get in touch with famous people, it's their managers or PR companies that respond.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to do. So we've got a challenge. Have you got a challenge for me that we'll play next week to see if I actually not only did I get a response, but also what was how many responses did we get? How many back and forths? And
But we don't want to be like taking up people's time.
no,
too much,
and we don't
is
want
it?
them feeling bad about themselves.
No.
We want the conversation to end where they're feeling good, that they're provided either some great information or some lovely feedback of thankfulness.
Okay, sounds good. Do you have one for me?
I forgot to look up one specifically. I'm going to... Can you think of one while I'm thinking?
Yeah, okay, I've got one. So I'm wanting you to contact a psychic with some sort of obscure question that they're not going to answer, saying, yes, just book in a time. It needs to be a question that they're going to be having to answer. Do you know what I mean? Not just like a yes, no. And
Right.
like a bit of an obscure one, like something really odd. And I know you'll be really creative with this.
Okay.
One that they'll go back to their partner and say, I got this weird, without it being creepy, but this unusual request.
But usually it's a paid service, so what am I supposed to do?
No, but you can say, do you do this because this is what's happened?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
But if I do find some sort of online community, I'll post it on there as well.
Okay, sure. Yeah, but I want you to go on the socials and find one of those
Perfect.
people. Yeah. Do you have something for me?
Now, I'm going to start a bit kinder than what I was going to, and say that I'm going to provide you with the name of a local band or singer, and you're going to have to basically get in touch with them, talk to them, how about their music and what it means to you.
Okay. That's really bad. Because I don't like it. I'm going to have to listen to the songs.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Fantastic. Now, I'm not going to give you a compliment because we've done too many segments, and I gave you the compliment, I think, during our main segment where I talked about the changes that you've gone through, and I think that was extremely complimentive.
And I gave you a compliment about how you did that, like put all those things together with
Did
the
Jen
noises.
tell you to do that?
Do what?
To give me a compliment on that?
No. What do you mean?
Because she said the best thing to do was, when we got to the compliment section, is for me to say, no, what about you giving me a compliment about?
No, we have never spoken about it. That's why we're besties or second best friendies.
So it was ruined, and
Oh no, I ruin your things quite often. Mm-hmm. I'm good at that. All right. Well, that's it for this week. I'm looking forward to next week.
I am too. It's going to be very interesting to see
Yes.
how many back and forths we can get. And remember, they have to feel good about themselves at the end.
Definitely. All right. Out and in.
Do you feel good at the end of these ones?
Over and out.
Are we doing, at the end of these particular our episodes, are you leaving there with a sense of completedness
Me?
and satisfaction and enjoyment, and that you're fulfilling, if you believe in destiny, that you're fulfilling it?
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
Oh,
Or do you
Mostly?
just walk out this door and it's like shutting a book? slamming a book shut and you don't even think about it.
I know, I just then look forward to listening to it.
No, you don't.
I do.
When? What?
Sometimes
No.
I do. Yep.
Yeah, no. What episode are you up to? What episode?
3. I'm 3 behind.
You're 3 behind, or you're probably up to episode 3. This is
No,
ridiculous.
I'm not. I've listened to lots.
No, you haven't. It's ridiculous. I don't think you've listened to any of them, and I don't think you've listened to most of them all the way through.
Calm.
No, I'm not going to calm down. I won't. I'm going to raise my voice.
Okay, bye.
And I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to shout. Mummy! Mummy! I'm going to finish off with the quote from a kid I used to look after. He's upset. He's upset.